Good evening, everybody. Today is February 19th, 2019, or 2/19/2019, as I prefer to say. In this video, I'm going to talk about this news story we got. Found this on Fox News earlier today. A news story about a Mexican businesswoman who was missing after being kidnapped. Her kidnappers were holding her ransom, but the husband didn't pay, so they ended up decapitating her and leaving her on the side of the road. In this video, I'm going to talk about the numerology of this news article. And on this channel, I question what we're being delivered from the mainstream media is real, what's being fabricated. As we know, the elite class like to keep its citizens in a state of consumerism, which means making them as scared as possible. And by presenting an image of the world, making it as frightening as they can, this then puts the reader in a lower vibrational state, making them better consumers, better shoppers, more likely to look to the state for protection. So that would be the agenda if indeed this is fake. If it's not fake, it's certainly being reported on this date for a very particular reason. So first of all, before I get into the numerology of the people in this story, I just want to look at the headline where we see a phrase that's quoted here. And anytime you see a phrase in quotes, particularly in a headline, we know that there should be relative or important, relevant gematria is what I meant to say. Now, in gematria, in addition to the methods that I showed at the beginning of this video, there's also one called satanic gematria, which is built around the number 666, the 36th triangular number. This method begins counting with A as 36, and satanic gematria sums to 666 in it. We'll look at the gematria of family wouldn't pay. This sums to 777 in satanic gematria. And if you've seen my last few videos, you understand that this number is very, very significant. It has to do with numeric ritual, which equals 777 in Jewish gematria. In that method, order out of chaos also has a value of 777. This phrase, order out of chaos, is important to Freemasonry. You'll see in Latin, it's written ordo ab chao. In Latin, this phrase has a reduction value of 46. Using the alphabetic order, the word chaos equals 46. But in reduction, chaos equals 19. And this story comes out on the 19th day of the month in the year 2019. This emblem has a 33 in the middle of it. Now, 33, when we write it out, has a numeric value of 895 in this Jewish gematria cipher. This is the method shown on the right side of the screen based on the original Latin alphabetic order with more modern English characters placed at the end. So we get a value of 895. This is the same as ritual human sacrifice, 895. Today's story falls on a date with 33 numerology, 2 plus 19 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9. This woman was from Mexico, which sums to 33 in reduction. The word Mexican, also 33 in that same method. 33, a number of masonry. It's said to be the 33rd degree of masonry. That's the highest. Masonry and police closely linked together. Police equals 33, just like secrecy. The word order summing to 33. So does the word false flag. Or the phrase, I should say. Now, the 33rd prime number is 137. The woman in this article was beheaded. Behead equals 137. But what I want to point out is that 33 in the alphabetic order sums to 156. This story, just like stories that occur in the United States, are often numeric rituals to the president or governor. So in America, I've been showing how stories that came from Wisconsin, Illinois, Connecticut, these were all numeric tributes to our recent new governors, Tony Evers, J.B. Pritzker, and Ned Lamont, respectively. Well, this philosophy continues in international stories. Whenever you're looking at an international story, you want to look at the president, see when they took office, check when their birthday is, and you'll find significant alignments. Also, just like how we look at the state or the date of admission for the states in the Union, we're also looking at nations' independence days. So all of this is relevant, and we'll show you how. So 33, which is the gematria of Mexico and Mexican, sums to 156 in ordinal. Mexico celebrates its Independence Day on Sunday, September 16th. Annually, the 16th of September. It's not Cinco de Mayo like a lot of people think. This news story comes out exactly 156 days after Mexico's Independence Day. This means that it's 209 days until their next Independence Day. And that might explain why we're getting a story about a woman who's decapitated. Decapitated equals 209. The word behead, also 29 in reduction. This woman's body was found on Wednesday last week, a date with standard numerology of 34, 2 plus 13 plus 19. The word murder equals 34. Again, this story, a numeric ritual for the president of Mexico. This man is, who is it? Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. And look what happens when you punch in his full name. You get a reverse ordinal value of 340, a lot like the number 34. Now, the 34th prime number is 139. The name of the victim in this story is Susana Carrera. Her name in the alphabetic order equals 139. But check this out. If you measure from the date that the date that she died, or her body was found anyway, February 13th, if you measure from that date to 13/9, like 139, the 13th of September, you find that she was found 212 days before that date. And in the reverse alphabetic order, the name Susana Carrera equals 212. The date on which she was found, by the way, measures up with the date that President Obrador took office, which was December 1st. Her body was found 2 months, 12 days later. There are alternate methods of gematria, and I just want to point out that in 2 of the primary Kabbalah ciphers, ritual sacrifice sums to 212. So this is a significant number. With the S exception, the name Susana Carrera sums to 67. Blood sacrifice equals 67. So does the phrase human sacrifice, 67 in reduction. This new president of Mexico, his nickname is basically his initials, AMLO. AMLO in the reverse alphabetic order equals 67. 67 is also a prime number. That would be the 19th prime number. Again, this story published on the 19th day of the month in the year 2019. The victim in this story was said to be a businesswoman. Notice how businesswoman has the 317 string in it in extended gematria. 317 is the word lie flipped upside down. And using the alphabetic order, the word lie flipped upside down equals 317. How interesting is that? Well, it just so happens that the location of this news story, Coatzacoalcos, Veracruz, Mexico, in the alphabetic order that sums to 317. Next, we're going to talk about this note that was allegedly found with her body. The note says, "This happened to me because my husband played the tough guy and didn't want to pay my ransom." Well, let's check out the reverse alphabetic order here. We get some pretty interesting numbers. First of all, notice this 1114. This is a number I've especially used to frequently talk about in regards to sacrifice rituals. If you multiply 11 times 14, the product is 154. The phrase ritual sacrifice sums to 154 in ordinal, but that's not all. In that same method, the word sacrifice equals 73. This ransom note also had gematria of 367. 367 is the 73rd prime number. The numbers of sacrifice coded right there into the note. Notice how in that same method, Kotzikokos, the name of the city where her body was found, also equals 73. Remember the phrase that they put in the headline, family wouldn't pay? That also sums to 73. And remember, this is all in relation to the new president of Mexico, Obrador, his name, equaling 73. Measuring from the date that her body was found to the date of Mexico's next Independence Day is 7 months and 3 days. And just to drive the point home, the city and state, Coatzacoalcos, Veracruz, equals 248 in the alphabetic order. This is the same as human sacrifice, 248. Also notice the 86. They both share that number, 86. Coatzacoalcos, Veracruz, also 121, which is the ordinal value of blood sacrifice. So it's just littered with these numbers. The city Coatzacoalcos equals 44 in reduction and 134. Her body was found with a ransom note, which has these same two numbers. As far as the 44, her body was found on February 13th. February 13th is the ancient pagan holiday Lupercalia, which sums to 44. This year, it fell on a Wednesday, which equals 44. Again, the president of Mexico, Obrador, his name equals 44. Finally, we knew we were going to see a story about a woman in the news, and of course, we see stories about women in the news every day, but there's always something special planned for dates like with numerology like this. Notice how in Jewish gematria the word feminism equals 219, and today is 2/19/2019. If you go backwards 219 days from today's date, you get July 15th. And July 15th was the World Cup final. And remember how a feminist rock band, Pussy Riot, ran on the field during the World Cup final? They even gave a high five to the players. This was completely staged. All these players are in on it because all these guys are rigging the games anyways. Anyway, in that same method, divine feminine sums to 9/11. And the divine feminine is, of course, after the division of the male and female energies. Division equals 9/11. This story comes to us from Coatzacoalcos, Veracruz, Mexico. Notice how in reduction, this sums to 119. The ransom in this case was 4 million pesos. This sums to 1,019 in English extended gematria. The woman's husband, who couldn't pay the ransom, was named Luis Manriquez. Manriquez equals 119 in reverse. I just want to point out that Luis Manriquez, the name of this husband here, he's got gematria of 185 and 166. This is the same as Secret Society, 185 and 166. And if this guy is part of a secret society, or if he's real at all, then he's certainly coded appropriately. Remember, the most ubiquitous secret society is Freemasonry, which has the compass set at 47 degrees. The name Luis equals 47 in the reverse method. In reverse reduction, Manriquez equals 47. So there you have it, guys. Once again, a story completely constructed by the numbers in relation to the president of Mexico, the date on which he took office. I'm not even sure I measured to his birthday, though. Maybe I should do that. November 13th of 1953. Her body was found 93 days after his birthday. Remember, propaganda equals 93 in the alphabetic order. That might not be the riddle. If we instead measure to today's date, we don't get anything real too relevant anyway. Other than a couple 39s, I'm not really seeing much here. I think this is more in aligned with the date he took office, December 1st. By the way, December 1st to the date that the body was found was 74 days. The word killing equals 74. All right, everybody. That'll do it. And this is my last live stream today. I think I did 6 in total. So thanks to everybody who jumped in and contributed. Really appreciate it. Especially appreciate the likes, the subscribes, the shares. YouTube has decided that they are not going to share content like this because they consider it conspiracy related. Yeah, because running numbers and measuring dates, that just reeks of conspiracy, doesn't it? Again, these numbers are all for you to decide what's going on. I can only share with you the undeniable patterns that exist in each and every single mainstream news story that we get. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. I'll be back on later this week. Peace, love, and God bless. Adios.